Now then, how's everyone doing? Good to see you. How's everyone doing? Michael was first in the comments at 20 past 6. That's not allowed. I don't know what's allowed. It's good to see everyone. Got Imi in the comments, Maggie, Amy, Steve-O's on, Dean and Sarah. Hi guys, good to see you. Jackson, evening mate. Mate, you're becoming a regular to the show, man. I love that. Good work. Yeah, I was just saying the reason why I was reading Amy's comment then. Yeah, the reason why I tried to get you to do that that video, Amy, is because Dean and Sarah did theirs and it was absolutely terrifying. Amy and Michael are arguing. Yes, I'm impressed. Hair's looking lush. Thanks, man. It's because I'm worth it. It's long and crazier at the moment. But yeah, I've really enjoyed today. Enjoyed the sun. I think I've spent a bit too much time in the sun, and just before I did sound checks, I felt like absolute crap. But now I feel a million times better. I think I was just really dehydrated and ran out of energy and just felt like crap. Now I'm drinking coffee. Now then, Craig, how you doing, mate? Good to see you. You having another pizza tonight in your homemade pizza oven in your garden? My hair is actually longer than Amy's now as well. I don't know what to play tonight, guys. I'll be honest. So tonight's guest, there's been a slight change of plan. Originally, I was going to have the Brazen Boys on, but due to unforeseen circumstances, we've postponed that, and we're going to do have them on at a later date. Yeah, there's just stuff going on, so behind the scenes, it can't be helped. But luckily, we've got an equally incredible act on tonight. We've got Matt Baxter who's stepping in, and I was gonna get him on the show anyways. We've been talking about it, but he's just got back from being stranded on a cruise. He was working on a cruise. He's been stuck on this boat for like 50 days or something. So he's now home, safe and stuff, which is good. And he's now on tonight's stream, which is even better. You've attempted to write a song and you've only got 2 lines. Well, Imi, that is 2 lines better off than you were before you started writing the song. So just persist, keep going, keep writing. One thing I find is writing melody and ad-libbing and just coming up with random words doesn't necessarily need to make sense, because then once you find the melody, you start to build it around there. That could help, potentially. Depends on what kind of thing you're after. If you've got a theme that you're wanting to stick around, then just go with it and just keep going. Who else we got? Gary Linley's in the comments. Nice, good to see you, mate. Been in touch with... So Gary Linley's doing Beatles live stream on Thursday, I believe, and he rang me earlier on today saying his test show that he put together, that's unlisted and not even public and no one can see it, has been pulled down from YouTube because of copyright infringement. And he was like, am I going to prison? I'm like, Gary, yeah, I'm not going to lie, mate. You're probably going to prison. Just get Thursday's stream over and done with, and then serve the time. and then do another one a week later. Steve, mate, how you doing? Good to see you. Right, you're doing it on Wednesday now. I'm sure you said Thursday. Sorry, apologies. It's on Wednesday. Michael, good to see you, mate. I don't know what songs to play, I'll be honest. Do I do a cover? It was a cold December, no place for her. She felt like she had no place to go, and she tried to forget it, how she got here and how her heart was broken years ago. Oh my God, she can't believe her luck. She thinks she's found true love again, and surely that's enough. Her lipstick is vibrant with failure. It adds no color to her life. It's all just a show to derail us and hide that we're hurting inside. And I know it hurts to fall. She tries to forget it, how she got here and how her heart was broken years ago. Do her eyes deceive her? Wipes her tears. She tries to understand what's going on, what's going on. Oh my God, she can't believe her luck. She thinks she's found true love again, and surely that's enough. Her lipstick is vibrant with failure. It adds no color to her life. It's all just a show to derail us and hide that we're hurting inside. No, 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 no. Thanks a lot, guys. Never gets easier. Without the silence at the end of a song it's quite awkward. I'm not gonna lie. Great. There's a few more in. That's awesome. Yeah, sorry, man. Basically, what happened was, Michael, I started playing the first few chords. I asked what people would like, and then as I realised, I was playing Hurts to Fall. So I just thought I'd just jump right into it. Otherwise, I would have played Patience. That was second on my list of songs to probably do if I was going to do it. No, I'm not running through an amp. I am running straight into my Mackie desk and then into the interface. Matt and I, Paddy, can record that again before too long. Is that Paddy in the comments? How you doing, man? Yes, I'm assuming it is you because you did say Matt and I, as in Paddy. Yeah, good to see you, Paddy. Thank you for joining us tonight. Yes, I'd love to have you back again. That was a great session. Right. Imagine that. Amy just stood in the room every now and then, just at the end of a song, just. Right. I'm going to jump right into bringing tonight's guest, if he's ready. Yeah, he gave me a little wobbly head. He was like, well, why not? Jack Edwards is in the house. Right, here we go. Matt Baxter, everyone. Absolute living legend. This guy is a fantastic musician, and really pleased that we managed to arrange this. Here we go. Yo, how's it going?
Hello.
Good to see you, mate.
Oh, it's nice actually watching this, even though I'm kind of in it. I wasn't able to keep up with your earlier broadcasts.
No, but I'm glad you've joined us tonight, mate. I do appreciate it. I did drop you in like literally it was a couple of hours ago. I was like, I've had a cancellation. It was actually your post. You posted that on Instagram because we have been talking about you coming on this anyways. It's just the timing and the logistics of whilst you've been away and stuff like that. But it was your Instagram post. You cleaned your guitars, and I was like, Matt Baxter's back in the UK. Let's see if he'll come on.
They were covered in spit and booze, and I thought, time to just scrape some of that
off. What kind of cruises are you doing?
That's just the way I play. I'm just dribbling all down the front all the time. I'm that kind of guy. Oh, but yeah, this is nice. I didn't have the bandwidth on the ship to watch any of these live streams. It was really frustrating because I could see loads of good stuff going up.
Yeah, it's been like pretty. I think everyone's jumped into full live streaming mode. Everybody is streaming these days. It's every man and the dog is doing it. It's great.
Why not? And you forced me to join you now.
Well, that's it. And hopefully we'll hear more from you as well after this. I think it's definitely something you should jump on as well. Yeah, this is 41 episodes now, so 41 nights in a row, which is pretty crazy, really. And yeah, I'm just glad we could make it happen. As I say, you were going to do something down the line. It's just we didn't have anything set in stone. Yeah. So I appreciate you bailing me.
You must have started just a week or so after I went into lockdown on the ship.
Yeah, so that must have been pretty crazy. What happened there then with the whole? Because you were working on the cruise.
Yeah,
that's and everything was great.
I'd probably been working for maybe 2 months at that point, maybe a bit less, 6 or 7 weeks on the ship, and I've done a few before. I really like the job on the cruise ships. You get some nice listening audiences, when you've been playing in rowdy bars a lot.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, the COVID thing happened, and it happened so quickly. We just got all the passengers off the ship, came out of the port and tried to figure out what was going on. And by then, there was a lot of restrictions. Yeah. A lot of restrictions came down pretty fast.
Coasting.
Yeah, because we didn't know how long it'd go on for. And I mean, I guess we still don't to some extent. But at the time, we didn't. Not only do we not know how long the pause in cruising was going to go on for, but how we were going to get home. If they weren't letting us into any ports,
no
one could fly home. And so, yeah, you've probably seen maybe some articles out there from desperate cruise staff and stuff like that.
So, like, what about, like, I'm assuming because you kicked everyone off the boat, there was plenty of supplies and food for all the staff and everything on there. Did you have to get anything sent out to you, or?
I heard that the whoever was in charge of buying in the supplies, that we restock, when we come into a major port quite a lot, especially if it's the one where we're offloading and unloading passengers.
Yeah.
But yeah, the guys that were buying stuff, apparently they had about 2 hours notice before they found out, that there was going to be no passengers. It was going to be a lot of crew. guess what we're going to need, for the next however long. We didn't know how long it would be
Whiskey.
until the next one. So, yeah, they
filled
stocked up on booze. It wasn't
I
bad.
bet they did.
For 4 days, we were partying our asses off, thinking this is great. Like a cruise ship to yourself without the passengers. It was like all our dreams come true.
Yeah,
Because a lot of us imagine that, because when you're working on there, you can't get in the way of the passengers and their fun. So you walk past them hanging out in hot tubs and going for a swim in the sun, and you think, oh, that'd be nice. And then it all happened. So there we were. I was having a cocktail in a hot tub whilst watching a band play, thinking, oh, I could live with this. And then and then all the social distancing and everything came down. Then it was all masks and stay in your room, apart from at meal times, and that was pretty shit.
Oh man!
But could have been a lot worse.
So you had a 4-day holiday, and then it was,
and then it was, and after that, it still wasn't bad. To be honest, I had a nice little
just
room.
Keep yourself to yourself, and
just
do your thing, and just did you find time to play music? Because I saw you did a few showcase nights still, like for the
crew.
Staff?
Yeah, that was just before the big social distancing stuff came into effect.
Right,
they let me play a few gigs for the crew, which is really nice, because half these guys might work in a galley for 14 hours of the day and they don't get to watch live music, and so it's a nice feeling when you can say, hey, I'll do requests for you guys, whatever you want to.
Yeah, man, definitely.
It was really fun for that little while before lockdown happened.
So what was the initial timeline and for you whilst you were out there before all of this? Were you planning on
I was supposed to be doing quite a long contract. I think I was supposed to be on there for about 5 months. And so, when it did happen, all I was thinking was, as long as they keep me on here and keep paying me, I'd be quite happy. But then when you're several weeks into that and you've run out of movies to watch, you think
completed YouTube.
It would be nice to play some songs for people occasionally. So I was expecting to be on there till mid-June. And I got back. When did I get back? 4 days ago.
Yeah, something. It was only a few days ago. Yeah.
So essentially home about 5 weeks early, maybe 5-6 weeks early, and then there was that huge bit in the middle where I was doing nothing. But I can't complain too much, apart from I got bored of playing to nobody.
Well, so whilst you were essentially, imagine COVID hadn't happened and you were still on there. What's your role then? Like, I've been on a cruise before, by the way, and it was incredible. It was amazing. I went for my honeymoon, and the entertainment was unreal. But were you sort of scheduled to just do
the entertainment? Obviously, it varies from across the different cruise lines and what kind of audiences they're aiming at. But I was working for a company where I was billed as the featured solo guitarist singer. Bit of a mouthful. It wasn't a snappy title. But I think because of the ease of moving around a solo performer, I was able to just move around and fill in slots wherever. If they were letting the band finish early one night, I might go in and play a late night slot in there. Might play throughout the day in different areas of the ship. But I mean, for the most part, it's 3 or 4 sets a day, every day, without many days off. So you got to have a decent repertoire.
I was just about to ask. You must be sat on a ridiculous amount of songs.
Yeah, I've stopped counting them actually, but
or maybe even just have you've learned enough to be able to pull them up on Google and rattle through some of them as well.
Yeah,
that you could just sort of put to the back burner. And
I mean, there's always new songs to learn, isn't there? I mean, there's just, when you're doing covers, there's so many classic songs that you should know, and other songs that you'd like to play, and you kind of just prioritize, don't you? That sort of middle ground, the Venn diagram, where there's the songs that you should probably have on your set list if you're going to be playing every night of the week, and ones that you want to play.
Yeah,
and just pushing those to the top of the list. But yeah, I've got quite a lot now, I guess.
And so in that respect, do you not often play repeat songs in the same day if you're playing multiple sets? Or are there some go-to ones?
Some people might play the same a song more than once in a day, but I wouldn't. And I would just even tell someone that requested songs. For example, there's some stuff that's always going to be popular, isn't there? Like Eagles or something like that. And so say if you've got a bunch of Americans that are of the required age to be a large majority of Eagles fans, and they ask for a particular song, I might just say, hey, I've actually already played that one today, but come back tomorrow and I might throw it in or
That's
whatever.
good.
Or have a chat with them on my break about some other potential songs by the Eagles they might like. So yeah, I try not to repeat myself too much, because the thing I never want to get to is that bit where have you ever seen a musician where they're kind of switched off behind their eyes, and they're just going through the motions? You got to keep it fun for yourself, haven't you?
Yeah. I think that happened to me,
your eye on it.
actually.
I think it happens to all musicians at some
Yeah,
point if you're doing covers, maybe.
Maybe, yeah. Yeah, I think so, yeah.
And I think with times like that, you've just got to think, right, pause, think about what I actually want to be playing. And for me, it was also learning how to enjoy the songs I got bored of.
Yeah.
Thinking about the lyrics more maybe, and my vocal delivery, doing it a little different and putting emphasis on bits that I want to put emphasis on.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a million ways of playing the same song after all.
Yeah. So have you learned any? Do you find time to learn new songs on the cruise?
Oh yeah, I make a point of it, just because, like I said, you're playing so often. One of the fun things I think about being a covers musician is when you learn a new song that you like.
Yeah.
And people will ask you, oh, what's your favorite song to play? And usually it's one of the newest ones you've learned.
Yeah.
The newest thing you've thrown into the set. And so, throwing in new songs all the time, that was an important part of enjoying it.
So what would you say is the newest one that you learned whilst you were away? Did you learn anything totally new or fresh or?
Yeah, I mean, I've been trying to learn some Elton John, actually. He's one of those guys that, he's been everywhere and everybody knows his stuff, but I never really went out of my way to listen to him.
Yeah.
I just kind of, heard them on the radio or whatever. So I've been trying to learn some Elton stuff.
Cool.
Especially after, Rocket Man came out and everybody wants to reminds everybody how much they like him. So I was learning some Elton John stuff recently, yeah.
Very good. So would you feel like you want to jump into a song maybe, and then we can
I can do.
Were you planning on doing covers or originals tonight? What's your plan?
I guess
Did you come up with a plan?
A bit of both, eh?
A bit of both, definitely.
Which shall I do first? Shall I try and do an Elton John song?
Oh, if you dare.
Well,
how new are they?
The thing with it's very new. I've never played it in front of anybody.
Oh,
but I mean,
then I definitely advocate for that. Definitely.
He's one of those guys. It put me off because it's piano based, isn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And you've got to rethink the arrangements a little bit. Think about how you want to approach it. So
that's cool. Then I think that's.
It's time for me to try one.
Definitely, yeah. Got to pull out a piano.
It just feels weird playing in my living room. I don't know if I'll get used to that. I feel like I want to belt stuff out, but at the same time, I can hear it bouncing off the walls around me.
I'm sure it'd be great. It sounded awesome in soundcheck, anyways. So, just it's only 3 songs. Just go whole hog, man. Just do it.
Right. Let's keep it going.
And then you'll hear like mid-song, like your neighbours banging up wall. Shut up.
Yeah, we'll wait for that. If you see me look that way,
yeah. Yeah. Right, man. Have a good one. I'll speak to you very soon.
I can't lie. No more of your darkness. All my pictures seem to fade to black and white. I'm growing tired, and time stands still before me. Frozen here on the ladder of my life. Too late to save myself from falling. I took a chance and change your way of life. But you misread my meaning when I met you. Close the door and left me blinded by the lights. Don't let the sun go down on me. Although I search myself, so is someone else I see. I just allow a fragment of your life to wander free. Oh, and losing everything is like the sun going down on me. I can't find the right romantic line. But see me once, see the way I feel. Don't discard me just because you think I mean you harm. These cuts I have, oh, they need love to help them heal. Oh, don't let the sun go down on me. Although I search myself, so is someone else I see. I just allow a fragment of your life to wander free. Oh, 'cause losing everything is like the sun going down on me. Although I search myself, so is someone else I see. I just allow a fragment of your life to wander free. Oh, yeah, just losing everything is like the sun going down on me.
Great work, mate. That sounded awesome.
Thank you very much.
Very
I went
good.
better than I expected, if I'm honest, for my first attempt at that song.
You wouldn't have thought that that was like a new one, you know? It's so fresh out of the bag, you know. It's
Thanks.
It sounded great. Yeah, everyone's absolutely loving your voice. That's, if anything, I think that's something that's always really stood out for me when I've worked with you in the past. Whenever you've come here and done a session and stuff, you've got a very distinctive vocal and really like unique way of delivering of like delivering it, and I just feel like you genuinely believe what you're saying and you just give it a lot of emotion, and your vocals are just really solid and really good. So.
Thanks. I think when I first started singing, I felt a bit embarrassed about showing emotion in singing. It felt a bit I don't know, being vulnerable like that in front of people. It felt a bit weird. And then in recent years, is what's really helped me enjoy singing cover songs. You know, like you said, if it's a song that you might play a lot, you know, one of the popular ones, by really digging down into what the lyrics are about and stuff,
Yeah.
and connecting with that. That's how I enjoy the stuff. Every night, you know, you might feel a little bit sadder during the sad songs and happy during
Yeah.
the happy songs, and yeah, take myself on that little emotional
Yeah.
roller
I,
coaster.
I definitely think the delivery on your songs, whether it be covers or originals or solo or with the loop pedal or with other artists and stuff, I feel like you put the same amount of effort in whatever dynamic you sort of portraying it. Slow, sad, happy, fast, whatever it might be. You're very much like good at delivering the songs, and yeah, you do a really
Thanks,
good job, man.
thanks.
So because normally you do like mix it up a little bit as well, and use like the loop station and stomp
That's right.
box
Yeah.
and stuff like that. So is that for your own sanity as well, to sort of fill out the sound and make it feel um you
Yeah,
know
it's been really fun getting into the loop pedal stuff, but I'm also one of those musicians that's a bit hesitant of getting too into it, just because I still really enjoy the effectiveness of just a voice and a guitar. You
mhm.
know, it's that intimacy that you get from that, and then the loop pedal. It's a different kind of enjoyment. It's a visual thing for the audience for a start,
Yeah,
but
yeah,
it's also just, you know, enjoying the way it all comes together and sounds
yeah,
like a bigger thing. You know, it must be like you when you're, you know, mixing stuff in a studio, that kind of feel. There's a different kind of satisfaction in it, but I appreciate both of
yeah.
those things, you know, different ways.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, not all songs can transpose into a loop station kind of song, anyways. So it's finding that balance, of what works and what doesn't.
Yeah, definitely. Especially if you don't want to go down the Ed Sheeran route and having one of the huge things. If
Uh-huh.
you've got like a two-button pedal like mine, then you can't be switching between different chord progressions for a start. You have to find a song that's maybe one progression all the way through, and, you know, think about how best to arrange it so that it goes somewhere. Because I'm very aware as well that some loop acts, um, you know, if you've got a 10-minute intro to a song and you're still adding parts to it,
Yeah,
then you've kind of lost me. But I
yeah.
suppose if you're a busker, then that's great, you know?
You've killed 10 minutes, haven't you?
Yeah,
No, you did a really great version of "With or Without You" here, and I think that's on my channel. It might be on yours as well by now.
thanks. No, yeah,
But
it's
yeah,
just on yours. You've got exclusivity on that one.
oh, nice, love it. Yeah, so if you get a second, please check that out. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed that version. It was really like quite amazing how you built the song up relatively quickly as well. Like you got out the ebo and everything like that, and you like started to craft the whole song and then harmony, and it just really came together amazingly.
Thanks very much. Thanks. I know this. That's one of those songs where there was a lot of different things I could put on it. You
Yeah,
know, there was so many layers on the original, and putting that one together was just more about yeah, picking the most effective way for the song to get from the start to the finish with me
yeah,
adding bits. You know,
yeah.
when's a good time for me to stop and add another little layer to it?
But
Yeah.
it still doesn't lose the U2 vibe. You've got the elements. Like the ebo is like quite a distinctive sound in the song, anyway, isn't it? Like that's
Yeah.
just U2 all over, isn't it? But you like, I love the fact that you managed to be able to throw that in, and like without any guitar change or anything like that. You're just using what you have around. You're not doing it on electric guitar or anything.
No, yeah.
It came across really well. I loved it.
I think because the thing is, I suppose I could record a video where I'm, you know, I sit down and add some bass and add some drums and
Yeah,
go
yeah,
around all of that. But I like simplicity sometimes and the immediateness uh and yeah, the version I did. I mean, maybe it's laziness as well. Who knows? Uh,
probably a good mix of
I
both,
sort of
mate.
see
I'm the same.
sometimes a simple and easy way to deliver a song is the most effective.
100%.
But then
I,
again,
I I'm so guilty of overcomplicating it. It's not.
but I do think there's an audience these days that quite enjoy sitting down and watch people fiddle around and, you know, slowly put something together. Maybe if you've got a shorter attention span,
Yeah,
you're not going to be as into that like myself.
yeah.
People love it.
That actually leads in nicely to a question that came in the comments. Is guitar your main instrument or only instrument that you
Um,
play?
I started off with guitar, and since then, I've learned to play a bit of drums and a bit of bass. Uh, but I wouldn't say I'm at a level in which I would gig with them, or at least it's very rare. It's given me a bit of better understanding of what I want from those musicians live.
Yeah.
Um, but I took up the singing a bit late on, to be honest. I'd been doing it for a while and wasn't really interested in singing,
Mm.
mainly because I think I was a bit shy about it as well.
You dabbled and did a bit of backing vocals, didn't you, for other artists and stuff? Or was that
Yeah,
sort of even late to that as well?
yeah. I mean, I think when I first started off, I just had no interest. I loved the idea of just making noises on electric guitar. And it was as I sort of matured as a person and a musician that you start thinking about songs and arrangements and what you want from everything. And then just noodling around an acoustic guitar and singing to yourself, that becomes fun in a different way, doesn't it? I think.
Yeah,
Before
yeah,
I just wanted to rock out an electric guitar.
yeah, yeah. Didn't we all? Don't we
I
all?
still do. It's the first thing I did when I came back from the cruise. I just plugged in the electric guitar upstairs and yeah, started rocking away on that because I miss it.
Yeah, because you put together a little band as well. I saw you. I saw. It was around. Was that around Christmas
Yeah,
season? You
yeah.
put together a band.
Only did one gig before I went away. We played Christmas Eve, and I think we're going to be continuing that as soon as we can.
Well, the clips that I saw were great, man. Like the
Well,
drummer was tight. He was really good drummer as well.
we have a fantastic drummer, Johnny, on drums. I mean, I don't even have a website or anything to direct people to yet. So maybe at some point in the future, I can link you up with all these musicians. And
Yeah, just go to your socials and then you'll probably post it on there. I'm assuming at some point.
But that band's come from our mutual love of kind of classic dad rock, and I missed playing like blues rock and things like Thin Lizzy and stuff. And we threw in some modern tracks as well. But I think in future, it's going to be a band where it's definitely not going to be geared towards your average pub crowd. I think we're going to play whatever we want to play, wherever we feel like, and we're all big fans of sort of, I don't know, guitarists like Peter Green and funky sort of rock bands like Little Feat and blues rock kind of stuff. And I think we're just going to try and find venues that will have us and enjoy ourselves, and maybe some other people enjoy it as well. Rather than the usual route of trying
100%.
to turn up and do what the landlord wants.
Well, I think that's a really cool way of looking at it. When you think about how much time and effort you actually put into catering for what other people want when it comes to doing your solo stuff, I think you do right to do something, to fulfill the need for, rocking out, as you say, and just filling that little gap.
I don't spend. I spend very little time on any music that I don't feel like playing.
Right.
Even when I'm on my own, I'll do stuff that I like. I've got pretty eclectic taste though, and I like a bit of everything. But it's more just that, when I discovered I missed playing guitar, and if I'd put together a modern pop rock band, it would have been fine. But I'm already kind of scratching that itch with my solo stuff.
Yeah.
It's what's missing from my musical fun.
Yeah.
It's led to that.
So did you get that same satisfaction from playing doing like session work for other artists, like the full band vibe, like the rocking out, bigger audiences, that kind of thing, and just doing it more for the love of the music? Did you get that same satisfaction from doing that? Because you sessioned for Scars on 45. Was there anyone else that you sort of did work for? And
little bits here and there over the years, but I think when I started working for Scars on 45, when was that? 2011, 2010. They kind of took over my life for a while.
Yeah.
Because they were touring so heavily in the States, everything else sort of fell by the wayside. But at the time, I loved playing with those guys because we were a great live band.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of satisfaction in, even if in that case, there might have been songs that were not my kind of style of music at all, but we sounded so good when we all came together and played stuff that I really enjoyed that. I think that felt more like I wasn't playing the kind of guitar licks and stuff that I love playing. It felt probably similar to the satisfaction you might get when you're mixing a track by a band and you're hearing it just sound really good. And it might not be the kind of music you'd play. It was kind of like that, but I was playing it at the same time.
Yeah, got you. Yeah, absolutely, yeah.
Because, I mean, I loved some of the songs, and the songs I wasn't that bothered by, but the through line through all of that was the satisfaction in just hearing us sound like a great band.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, and I think for a while out there, I can't remember all of it because I was quite a bit younger and probably drinking a bit too much. But the bits I remember, we sounded really good, and we were blowing some audiences away.
I just kind of half imagine it being like you wake up passed out and you're like, it's such a great show, and it was like a car crash of a show.
Yeah,
in your head, you're so wasted, it sounded great.
It was more just. Yeah, I'd get a little tipsy to go on just to wake myself up, but it's more just afterwards.
You're professional, mate. I trust you. I believe you.
It wasn't a healthy lifestyle anyway, that's for sure.
Dear. Right, mate. I don't mean to. I'm absolutely loving catching up with you, but I'm aware we've got 20 minutes, about 20 minutes left. I'd love to get 2 songs out of you before we finish up. So should we get another song from you, and then we'll try get a few more questions, because there have been a few questions come in, yeah, we'll just try squeezing a bit of talking in between these next 2 songs.
Shall I play you one of my tunes?
Definitely, yeah, I'd love to hear that. Also, there's quite a few new people here in the comments. If you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. It's awesome to see some new people, and showing some love to Matt, and I'm assuming they've come from your platform and stuff. It's great.
I put the message out about an hour or 2 ago, and
as soon as you knew,
that's great. Yeah.
It's like going live now. Anyway, sorry. I'd love to hear original from you, mate. That'd be great.
Right. Well, I tried to write this one with some American acts like Bruce Springsteen and stuff in mind. So if you hear a bit of an Americana twang, that's what was going through my head at the time.
Nice one.
She says I don't know what I want, and it's true. And it makes her scared of what I'll choose to do. She said the stakes are too high, chance another ride. And it was hard enough the first time round with you. She says I don't know my own mind, and she's right. I don't trust myself to see it through alright. But all I know is when she's gone, I miss her like the sun. I'm sad in shadow when she takes away her light. If we break this old warm chain, there'd be no one left to blame. And I'd stop thinking of you when I close my eyes. At least I can't hurt you when I'm gone. I can't change my mind and run, but I always wonder, what if we had tried? She says she does not know what she can believe, and it's not healthy that she still thinks of me. She said I know I was a mess, but it broke me when you left, and now you've come back with some promise you can't keep. But if we break this old warm chain, there'd be no one left to blame, and I'd stop thinking of you when I close my eyes. At least I can't hurt you when I'm gone. I can't change my mind and run, but I always wonder, what if we had tried? Yeah, I always wonder, what if we had tried? Yeah, I'd always wonder, what if we had tried?
Yeah,
Thank you. Oh, you see, I got a little clap there.
a bit of a golf clap.
I-
It's just me and
without you, it would have felt odd with that silence when you were talking about that earlier. It is a
yeah,
weird thing about these live streams.
it's really strange.
I know
I
there's a
think.
lot of musicians doing them right now, but I heard there's even comedians out there doing them,
Oh,
telling
right.
jokes without getting a laugh. Can you
Oh, that's
imagine how horrible
you
that
just see
would be?
the laughing face emoji coming up on the screen every 2 seconds.
It can't do anything for the self-esteem. I
No,
don't know.
that's like a proper Black Mirror kind of
Yeah,
type comedy show, isn't it? That's weird.
yeah. It's very
Oh,
odd.
yeah, that is strange. But yeah, that sounded great though, mate. I love that. Have you got that
Thank you very
recorded?
much. No, not really. I mean,
No?
I think there's a YouTube video out there somewhere if people want to go and find that. Another live performance. Don't know if
Okay.
it'll be any better than this one, though, to be honest.
Well, we'll be on this channel straight after this. I think it takes maybe a couple of hours for it to render, but it will be up on here
Oh,
and
cool.
for the rest of time, sort of thing. Amy, my wife, who's been a smart ass, saying Matt's used to telling jokes and no one laughing. Thank you very much for that. Great.
Ah,
I'm assuming she means you, not me, because no, I'm only joking. She definitely means me.
bit confusing with two Matts here,
Yeah,
right?
yeah. All the compliments that when they say Matt are for me, and any negative Matts are for
All
you.
the disses, yeah. I gotcha.
Right. Okay. So let's quickly get into some questions. They're not quite going to be quick fire. I don't want to rush you or anything.
Mhm.
If the show runs over, it runs over. I've thoroughly enjoyed
But
hanging
yeah,
out with you, mate.
make it concise. I see
but-
what you're hinting at here, right?
Hurry the hell up.
I do like to just bang on and hear my own voice. And to be honest, I've been locked in a room on a cruise ship for a long time with no one to talk to. So this is
3 hours later, I'm like, Matt, seriously, you need to just hurry up and answer the damn question.
exactly that's what I'm worried about now. Next time I have a social interaction, it's going to be in with people, just
Yeah.
trying to get away from me. I think.
Yeah, no, I can't imagine that. You're good to talk to, so it's all good. On that note, hurry the hell up. I'm kidding. Please, could you ask Matt, how did you get into music?
Well, that's-
Chapter 1.
Do you know what it was? I mean, I always enjoyed music as a kid. My parents played me a lot of stuff, but I think I was of the correct age when Superband Oasis got huge, and I noticed it, and I noticed they were playing guitars for the first time, and that made me go, "Ooh, I want to pick up a guitar and try and do some of that." And I think
Yeah.
before that, I'd been kind of vaguely into music. I'd enjoyed it, but it's the first time I'd noticed what the musicians were doing, and then after that, I think I got a book, or I borrowed a book that was full of stuff about guitars, and there was all these musicians inside that I'd not heard, like Jimmy Page and Jimi Hendrix and all the other Jimmys. And
Yeah.
I started, just looking into older stuff, and yeah, it went on from there. Still discovering things.
Because I kind of remember that time as well, when Oasis were blowing up. Because like pop culture was huge then. Before it wasn't like rock and roll. Obviously, you had the Beatles and stuff before that, but it was more like harmony based bands. Like real pop bands. Spice Girls and Boyzone and all that kind of stuff. So I remember like getting a real taste for music similar to you because of the rock and roll kind of element to it. That sort of sparked my interest.
I think there's something about being at that age in your mid-teens where you see a bit of rebellion, and that's great. And it's also how you kind of connect with the music that you're seeing. You're seeing something that finally might speak to you on a more personal level, and you're like, "Get lost, mum and dad. I'm going to listen to a loud
don't understand
Mancunian
me."
shout." Yeah, maybe that's
we understand. No, that's cool. Good answer. Let's have a look.
Any other questions?
There's another couple, I think. Do you ever get stage fright? If so, how do you get through it?
Do you know what? I play so often. I mean, well, not recently, but usually I'm playing so often that I've got just a lot of faith in what's going to happen when I start playing and singing. And I enjoy the songs I do. And so I kind of think if I play to a bunch of people that are not into it, I
That's
don't
their
really
problem.
take that personally anymore. Yeah, I
Yeah.
sort of think sometimes it, I've played the audiences that have been less into it than others, and you
Yeah, yeah.
just think, well, maybe another musician should have played here tonight. I
Yeah.
don't think, oh, I'm doing it wrong.
Yeah.
So
That's a
with
really
that
good
in
answer. I
mind,
like that.
yeah, with that in mind, I don't really get stage fright. I sometimes get nervous if I'm out of my comfort zone. If something's changed. For example, tonight, sitting in my living room, I was getting sweaty palms. I think,
Hours before we go live, I'm like, Matt, we're going live in an hour or two. Are you ready? And you're like, yeah, I'm ready. No, you were absolutely really cool about it, man. Honestly, and because when we came to sound check, you were just like ready to go, set everything up.
I should be good at that. I studied music production when I was, first getting into music.
Yeah.
I thought I was going to end up as a studio engineer or a producer or a live sound guy, and then ended up being the one playing the music in the end.
That's cool. I really like your answer of being so confident of your skills and whatnot, because for me, now you've said that, like sometimes I might be a bit harsh on myself because the
Yeah,
venue might not be right for me. I play exactly the same as I would play in a venue that would appreciate it, and nothing has changed apart from the audience. If they don't like it, then that's
yeah,
okay. That's fine.
exactly. And I am hard on myself. If I'm not singing to the best of my abilities that night, and maybe it's because I had a couple of drinks the night before, then I'll be kicking myself for the whole
Yeah,
night. I enjoy playing at the top of my game, and there's always improvement. There's always, I can always get a bit better on guitar and a bit better at singing. So I'm always trying to do it a little better every night. But also, if I am feeling like good about it and I feel like I'm on the top of my game, then yeah, I don't think anything anybody could say could really put me down too much. But then I don't know if that was the case when I started out and was crap at singing. Then I was probably more worried.
yeah.
Mm,
No, it's good. I like that.
yeah.
So there was a question about your accent. Have you got a bit of Geordie and Yorkshire going on? Are they hearing a Geordie twang?
I get a lot of comments about that actually at gigs. I'll be playing a gig in Leeds and people come up to me and say, "Where are you from? Are you from, the Northeast or something?" And nope, I'm from Leeds. I've just got a weird accent, and I don't know how it's happened. Really, I've travelled around a lot over the last, 8 years or whatever. I've been around a lot of other accents, and do you know what I heard about this thing in America? There was one little island that apparently had a distinctive accent, and it got stronger on some of the younger people there because they were reacting against the influx of people without that local accent. And I'm wondering if I've picked up an even more northern accent, in the Northeast thing when I've been around, I don't know, Americans and
Yeah,
Australians.
yeah.
And stuff. I don't know if it's something like that.
Maybe.
I'm not going to go into the psychology of it, but yeah, I've just got a weird accent. I don't know.
No, okay, valid. Steve, we asked who asked the question about stage fright. His answer to your answer, he approves of. So if you have a bad gig, blame it on the audience. Love it. Basically,
I
that's
think it's about finding the right audience, isn't it? That's
yeah. I'm down with that. I think it's everyone else's fault and not mine.
and you know what? It's probably the same when I was maybe younger and less experienced and just not as good at singing. Perhaps then there would have been audiences that didn't like it, and I would have been nervous about it. But it's also finding audiences that are open to people that maybe have not been playing as long, or people that don't play as often, and find an audience that's willing to give you a chance as well,
Yeah, yeah,
and that really helps and builds up your confidence whilst you're building up your skills.
yeah.
I'm a big fan of open mic nights and stuff like that for that. I think they're great. That's how I started out.
Absolutely, same here. I'm a huge advocate for open mics. I started out playing at every single open mic I possibly could, and then running them all after years of going to them all. Like, I just ended up doing like 4 or 5 open mics a week in different bars and all around Guiseley, Eden, and all that sort of stuff.
I don't get to go to them so much anymore, but if I'm ever somewhere where, when I was on the cruise ship, we'd have an open mic night for the crew, and I'd always
That's
go
cool.
down and, encourage people, because the more musicians out there, the more people doing it, there's more people to get what you're doing, I think, as well. You appreciate guitar more once you've had a go at playing it yourself.
Yeah,
Right?
absolutely. Yeah,
Like anything else.
definitely. Right. This question I'm going to put on screen because I can't make sense of it. I don't know if I'm just being a bit daft.
Which person from the past And which person from the present won't Matt B like to sing with?
So it was the once that threw me.
Yeah. So you
Like,
think, who
so,
wouldn't I like to sing with?
yeah, and that's why I didn't want to read it out and just be like, "Is that wrong?"
It's a bit of a negative thing to focus
Yeah,
on, unless it's a typo. I think it
yeah,
must be a typo. I'm going to say because
I think so.
I don't think I'd focus on. And I never made a list of people that I wouldn't play if they asked. It's not like I had, you know, amazing singers like Billy Joel. Like, yeah, but if he came calling, I'd be like,
Yeah,
no,
no, I said I wouldn't on Matt's channel
yeah.
on Assembly Point. I said I am not singing with you.
But yes, if we assume it's a typo, which
Yeah.
person from the past and the present would I
Would
like to
you?
sing
Would
with?
Matt? Would
Oh,
you like to sing with?
I see. The problem is I'd be very intimidated by the people that I'm fans of. Do you know what I mean? Like when I think of my favorite singers, you've got people
His
like
career.
Ray Charles and Peter Green from the R&B background. Then you've got the rock singers like Freddie Mercury and Paul Rodgers from Free. And if we're just looking at the past one right now, and if any of those asked me to play with them, I would soil myself, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So who would I like to actually play with? I don't know if I'm confident enough to just put,
Let's say everything lined up perfectly, and you weren't like. I mean, a minute ago you were just saying how secure you were with yourself.
yeah, definitely. Like, depends on
I'm only kidding, but let's say everything lined up. Your dream artist to play with.
Oh gosh, I mean it's difficult as well when you've got eclectic tastes because you sort of think which genre would I go down? I mean, I guess I'd love to with the old guys. I loved watching the funkier and groovier musicians like the American soul and R&B musicians, but to go back and play with some of the classic rock guys would be great. I would have loved to have tried to play some guitar along with the big guys like Led Zeppelin, stuff like that. And then for modern stuff, I mean, I'm listening to a lot of Jason Isbell at the moment. I don't know if you've heard of him.
I'm sorry, mate.
He's an American guy. He's just a fantastic songwriter. He's kind of a bit country, but he's a very tasteful guitarist himself, really nice on guitar. And I don't like everything he does because I'm not a huge country fan. And so the more country it is, the less I'm into it. But he's just an amazing lyricist and songwriter. And I would have, if he hired me to be an extra session guy playing some guitar for him live, I wouldn't turn that down.
That's awesome.
Oh, Hosier. Oh, I love him as well.
Yeah.
The Irish guy. I think Hosier's an amazing just songwriter. And, if you wanted me to play a triangle at the back of the band, I would do it.
Great.
Yeah.
That would be cool. But equally also quite boring job just playing the triangle.
Yeah, I don't know. I went to see Hosier live and it was an emotional experience for me because I just think his singing is so good. I think he's just such an amazing all-round musician and singer that I would happily just stand anywhere on stage playing a triangle and watch him do his thing.
Great. Well, there you go. I started. Is it he sings "Take Me to Church," right?
Yeah, that's right. Yes.
Yeah, I started trying to learn that because Amy asked me to learn that, and there's a lot of chords in that, or at least for me. I'm just used to a 4-chord trick, and it's got random pushes in it and stuff. And
yeah, it's in 3/4 in the verses, and then goes to 4/4 with a bit of a swing to it in the chorus.
I'm so glad it's not harder than I thought it was because I started playing it. It's not too difficult, but especially when you're reading the screen and learning the words and stuff, it's just throwing me off. Do you know how to play it?
Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Oh, sweet. Well, anyways, I think we should get another tune from you. Anyways, I feel like you should just what had you planned on doing before?
I hadn't planned much, but when we were talking about the cruise work earlier, I did think about a certain song.
Oh, sweet.
I could have a go at. I've got a little set list up here, but I can never remember who even wrote this song. I heard this late at night whilst driving in my car. Some other artist on the radio picked it out for the DJ. Ben Rector, the guy's called.
Cool.
I need to look into his other work. But he wrote a song called The Men That Drive Me Places. And I just think lyrically it's perfect. It's brilliant. So I'll have a go at playing.
Nice.
It's one that was on piano though, so now you're gonna have to listen to my attempted rendition on guitar.
Well, I'm sure you'll smash it, mate. Don't worry. Right, I'll hand you over. Have a good one, man.
I should make sure I'm in tune first, shouldn't I? That's enough. I would drive a minivan for the cruise ships from Fort Lauderdale. It's been that way since 1994. He does his business on a flip phone with the most obnoxious ringtone. I didn't ask, but I could tell it's from New York. And he spoke proudly of his daughter, and this fall she'll be in college. And he always wished he'd gotten his degree. You can tell he came from nothing, built a future out of hustling. And somehow I'm the one you people pay to see. Oh, isn't that just the way it goes? You dealt a good hand, and you get celebrated. Oh, how am I the only one who knows I'm half the man of the men that drive me places? Then he showed up early, 15 minutes to 5:30, making sure that I'd be on my morning flight. He said he'd love to fix computers, but he can't until he's fluent. He spends his driving money taking class at night. He wore a neatly ironed dress shirt, and he helps his kids with homework. And deep inside I couldn't help but ask myself, while at night I'm up on stage, everybody knows my name, while Danny's early picking up somebody else. Oh, isn't that just the way it goes? You dealt a good hand, you get celebrated. Oh, how am I the only one who knows I'm half the man of the men that drive me places? And now everything's not given. I work hard to make a living. I'll give credit where I think the credit's due. Maybe you got dealt a good hand, maybe you played the best that you can, but I don't know how far you'd walk without those cards in Howard or Danny's working shoes. But that's just the way it goes. You dealt a good hand, you get celebrated. Oh, how am I the only one who knows I'm half the man of the men that drive me places? Thanks, mate.
So good. That was great. I definitely checking out the original for that. That's brilliant.
Cheers. Yeah, it just, occasionally you just listen to some songs on the radio and then something stops you in your tracks. I just thought it was great.
Yeah, man. Definitely. Sounds really good. So you're getting a lot of love on the comments again. One of the questions was, are you seeing the comments? Are you seeing the live chat?
I can sort of. I've just not been paying it. I've been too busy talking to you, Matt. To be honest.
Yeah, that's all right. I tried to put a few of them up on screen for you and stuff, so so it's more obvious where possible. And obviously you can come back and
just soak up all the love afterwards.
Yeah, man, definitely.
That'd be great.
Any final words, mate? I think we're going to round off the show now. I've really enjoyed having you on. It's been fantastic, actually.
Oh, thanks for having me. It's been great, and it's good to know that I can do this streaming thing now. I'll be coming back to you for more advice on this stuff, I think.
I think you've got it down to a T. I think you just need to run with it, mate. I think you know what you're doing. Just do it.
I'll be setting up my disco lights tomorrow. I don't know.
Stomp box and drum kit on your back.
The full one-man show, I'm sure.
Yeah, man. No, honestly, mate, I was thoroughly entertained, and it was just great catching up with you, and the song sounded brilliant. So thank you very much for joining me, mate.
Thanks so much. And just to, agree with your friend there. Your hair is looking absolutely lush, man.
Oh, thanks,
It
mate.
is. You do look like a sexy lion. That's been good to see too. Fierce, yeah.
Anyways, on that note, I think we'll leave it there. Yeah, great. Thanks, man.
Thanks, Brad.
Please do check out Matt Baxter. I'll put his socials on screen again. And yeah, go show some love and support. Follow him on Facebook and Instagram and stuff. And yeah, I'll see you when I see you, dude.
You too, mate. Thanks.
Thanks, guys, so much for tuning in once again. It's been really, it's just been a great night, despite it being sort of a last minute throwing together kind of thing. I think it's worked out amazingly. Tomorrow there is the Boris thing, isn't there? Boris thing. It's not like it's important at all, it's just whether we're staying in or not. That's happening at 7, so I'm going to come on as normal, but it's probably going to be slightly later, maybe 10 past-ish, or just whenever he finishes. So please do come back tomorrow, and we'll have our usual Sunday meeting, where it's just us guys and we'll play some songs and whatnot. If you are new here, please consider subscribing to the channel. Thank you so much again for the continued support. Hit 350 subscribers already, which is awesome. I'm not sure there's anything else to sort of discuss. I think that's it. Great. Go support Matt Baxter and enjoy the rest of your evening. Bye.